they say the next 2 years are critical. We have to adapt. Old Italian cities,
Yes.
I can't imagine driving with an autonomous car in such cities. Consumer tech leaders have a lot of know-how and skills they could adapt into this new automotive world. In the Western world, we have to invest into robotics.
Resilience or agility?
Resilience.
Welcome to this edition of Leading Through Uncertainty. I'm Clare Glackin, head of the industrial practice in Europe, Middle East and Africa at Odgers. This series is part of our ongoing effort to explore how senior leaders are navigating complexity, change and opportunity in today's world. Each conversation brings a unique perspective from across industries and geographies. And today I'm joined by someone who brings deep insight into leadership across the automotive sector. Emanuel, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Claire. Yeah, thank you. I'm originally from Switzerland. So I grew up in a rural region, eastern part of Switzerland, did a technical apprenticeship. And then I moved to Munich, studied social sciences and started my career during my studies in a small search boutique, focusing on manufacturing companies. And then I moved to one of our competitors for some years. There started my career within the automotive industry. I'm happy to be part of this industry now for more than 15 years. With Odgers, 12 years. I'm now managing partner or co-managing partner of the German business, running the global automotive practice and still enjoying working in this group of companies, and it's fantastic being here.
Good. Well, we've got a few questions to go through. Mm-hmm. How long have you been at Odgers?
It's now year 12 with Odgers. I started in the Munich office and I'm still there.
Fantastic. And what drew you to this type of work?
Oh, I needed money during my studies and I started in a small search boutique doing work as a researcher, and it turned out it was a good decision, and stayed in the industry.
And what would you say are the standout moments from your time in the last 12 years?
It's not the moment, I would say, but it's the journey. I really enjoy working with Odgers. I have now a lot of friends in the company. The company was good to me, so to say. I had a fantastic career, started as a consultant. I'm now managing partner in Germany and Switzerland. So it's really the opportunities given to me, that's fantastic. That's really unique.
So, Emanuel, tell me about the automotive practice at Odgers. Whereabouts in the world are the people in the practice?
Yeah, thanks to our global scale, we can cover all major automotive markets in the world. So we have specialists in the US, in South America, but also around the European markets, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, and for sure in Eastern Europe and in Asia.
And how would you describe the business leaders that you work with? What type of sector background, characters, expertise do they have?
Maybe that's one thing that is really amazing, because there is not this one type of client. It's the variety. It's something different whether you work with a private equity client or with a executive board member of a large car maker.
Emanuel, I've got a rapid fire round for you. Can you answer these questions and just tell me whatever comes into your mind first? Efficiency or innovation?
I would love to say innovation. I like working with creative, innovative people, but to be honest, I'm more the efficient guy.
Global scale or local depth?
Well, it depends on the business. Global scale.
Okay, this one's got to be quick. Resilience or agility?
Resilience.
Engineer or strategist?
You need both, but without an engineer, it will not work. Best strategy ever, but it will not work.
Factory floor or boardroom?
The factory.
Coffee or tea?
I'm not British. It's coffee.
Very good. So the first theme we want to talk about is the automotive industry. This is an industry under sustained structural pressure. How could you describe that for us? What is the state of the global automotive industry today?
It's a good question, Claire. So yes, we are in a perfect storm at the moment with the automotive industry, especially in Germany, but also in other parts of the Western world. It's a cyclic downturn on the one hand, but that's not the biggest issue. We have faced them in the past.
Many executives say we've seen crises before. What makes this phase fundamentally different from previous industry cycles?
Because it's not only a cyclic downturn that you can improve your efficiency and produce cheaper. It's in parallel also a huge transformation in the industry, going back away from internal combustion engine to the EV, but also the business models are changing when we think about autonomous driving. So why owning a car which is driving you from A to B? It's not necessary to own this car. You can also just go on the street.
Yes.
And take the next one.
When you look at the industry, who do you think, what type of leaders are navigating this? What distinguishes the companies that are finding their way through this perfect storm from the ones that are still struggling? And how is this how are they making their portfolio decisions, business model decisions? What are you observing in the response?
So the leaders have not only being leaders and going straight forward and waiting that the rest will follow. They have to communicate more than ever with their employees and all other stakeholders, as for sure. They have to be more team-oriented, not only with their own team, but also with partners from other companies. So you see more and more joint ventures to share the costs of development, which is happened in the past as well. But now it's more important than ever that you have good partnerships with other companies. So, for example, in the chip industry, a lot of car makers are working together with NVIDIA or other players in this field.
Emanuel, tell me, how does Germany fit into the changing geopolitical landscape?
Not very good, to be honest, Claire. Our strengths in the past, engineering, process-driven development, long-term thinking, or mid-term thinking, so to say, if it's think about development of a car, which takes 5 to 7 years, or it was in the past 5 to 7 years. Now you have Chinese players doing it in a year. And Germany struggles with the answer to these changes.
Who do you see in Germany responding best to this? Without naming companies, but what is it that's... Where do you see the bright spots?
For the past 2-3 years, it was BMW, which responded the best way because they stayed flexible with when it comes to the engine, but also the production sites are very flexible, so they can really switch on the trends.
And where do you see this flexibility? Is that coming from the top? Is that part of the leadership characteristics? Does this link to the collaborative behaviours with joint venturing? Is there something about leaders that are able to navigate this?
Yes, I would say it came from the top at BMW. and for sure they have the advantage of a family in the background as a shareholder, and giving them the confidence to stay with their strategy.
So, Emanuel, you're explaining the incredible heritage of the automotive industry in Germany and the established players. Why is it difficult to lead change in that environment?
I mean, if you have a heritage of 100-year-old company, having done things the same way for maybe 80 years, it's difficult to change it immediately and adapt to the new world.
And what are the solutions to that? What do you see as the solutions?
Learning from the new players, especially from the ones in China. The Germans are doing it. They try to adapt to this.
How is that going?
So-called China speed.
Tell me more about. I believe there are people who've worked in China, worked in joint ventures. Does that really work? Is the learning coming back to Europe in the way that in the past perhaps the Chinese learnt from the Germans? Is it working in reverse?
It is working in reverse, but there is a lot of resistance within the companies still, but there is no other way. So we have to adapt.
And what would be an example of what needs to change? Can you give us something that brings that to life of what needs to be different in the way of working?
We discussed it earlier. The companies have to be open for partnerships. They have to be open, not knowing everything, and not that they cannot control everything.
Okay.
For example, the battery industry. There is only one car maker in Germany who is pushing its own battery production, Volkswagen. All the others are 100% dependent on Asian and especially Chinese producers.
Which are you advocating, do you think, is a better strategy, or it doesn't matter as long as you can execute your strategy?
We will see it in 5 to 10 years, Claire. I mean, there is, for example, the solid state batteries. That could be a game changer. If the Germans or the Americans or the Chinese companies, who is able to produce the first solid state battery in series. That could be a game changer.
And why is that?
Because the solid state battery is far more secure. It's safer. It has a higher energy density. And so from what we know, I'm not an expert, Claire, in battery, but it seems that it could be easier to produce and cheaper. So that could be a game changer.
Interesting. And coming back to the technologies, are there any others that are critical for Germany to embrace, for the automotive industry to embrace in a way they haven't in the past?
Mm. We already discussed about customer expectations,
yes.
The changing customer expectations. I mean, they are not really changing in Europe or in Americas, but they're changing in Asia. The shift is the most important topic. Why you buy a new car is not the perfect engine and everything around the car itself. It's about entertainment within the car, about the infotainment systems. This is something the European car makers can adapt relatively easily. Another thing is autonomous driving. I mean, that's from a technical perspective far more complicated than the transformation from internal combustion engine to electric vehicles. But it's still very expensive to produce it. and to
Do you
develop.
think it's a viable solution in Europe? I saw one go past our office here in London recently, and I couldn't believe it because I thought perhaps the London streets were going to be too complicated.
Yes, I mean, thinking about old Italian cities,
Yes.
I can't imagine driving with an autonomous car in such cities. But in Dubai or in China, in new cities, it's relatively easy. The most critical point is the other drivers who are not driving an autonomous car.
Thank you. That's fascinating. So, Emanuel, tell me more about where you think the automotive industry will be in 5 years' time. Can you see forward, or is that an impossible question?
Yeah, it's not an impossible question, but there are many ways. So when I have discussions with especially the German managers in the automotive industry, they say the next 2 years are critical. We have to adapt to the already discussed China speed, the customer expectations within the next 2 years. If we are not able to adapt within the next 2 to 3 years, then other competitors will be much better than.
Do you think it's likely there will be protection from the European Union that will give you more time?
To be honest, I hope so, but I don't see it.
And are there any other shifts or other industries where you think maybe there are leaders who could come and help with this shift?
There was a consumer guy leading Volvo, not successfully, it seems, but I think the consumer tech leaders have a lot of know-how and skills they could adapt into this new automotive world. If they are struggling, then they are struggling with the heritage and the leadership style of the old automotive managers. So adapting to the culture of automotive companies is not easy for them.
And when you talk about this, is this commonly understood? Do you think that people recognize this, or that it's actually not yet recognized? The crisis hasn't quite arrived to make the change?
Oh, no, they see it. Okay. They see it. And I mean, we often have discussions about bringing in new perspectives and new know-how. And the clients tell us, oh, we are open for new thinking. We are open for managers from Amazon or from Netflix or whatever. But at the end, if it comes to the shortlist, I would say it's a 70% chance that they go with the safe way of choosing an automotive expert. No.
And is there anything like the revolution of the Toyota production system that came to Germany and was so eagerly adopted successfully? Is there something like that could be the next wave that would help, that could be a solution?
So we already see that. So it's not going away from lean principles and Toyota system, but you have to make sure that you are at the edge of robotics and automation.
That's very interesting. And where is that industry? Where's the best know-how from that automation and robotics industry? Is that coming from Europe? Is that from Asia?
On scale, in Asia. From a technological perspective, it's Americas, it's also Europe, but Asia is also. I don't know whether there is one leader. Everyone is investing and developing robots at the moment.
Very interesting. So, coming back to your time at Odgers and working with the company, what would you say about our company that helps us survive in this new world? What is it about? How can we do that as a company?
Like the automotive industry, we have to adopt. We have to go with the industries, with our industries. I mean, yes, I'm in the automotive industry, and general industry. Other colleagues who are, for example, in life science, they have other issues to deal with. For example, in the last years, the business professional services market was down. And but these consultants have to adapt to this new world and thinking about where's my network. Okay, all these consultants from strategy consultants are moving to private equity or venture capital. So I have to adopt myself, and I will also now work with venture capital funds, for example.
Do you see more private equity in Germany?
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
There is a lot of family offices investing in private equity. I mean, there is still a lot of money in Germany from family company owners struggling with success, selling their company to PE, then investing themselves in PE or in venture capital. The large funds are investing in Germany, but also a lot of mid-cap companies from all around the world.
So, Emanuel, tell me, I know that Odgers has been investing in defence as that grows significantly. How is that landscape changing and how are automotive players responding?
So first of all, how are we responding? I mean, thanks to Odgers and our colleagues in the US and also here in UK, we have a fantastic record in aerospace and defense. We have now really a successful aerospace and defense practice in Germany as well. It's still a small business compared to, for example, the automotive industry in Germany. And yes, the automotive industry is also moving into defense sectors. I mean, you cannot switch a passenger car production into a tank production. That's completely a different story. But a tank is moving like a passenger car. And a lot of the suppliers are thinking about investing into the defense sector, and they are doing first steps into this area. And a lot of companies which have in their DNA not working with defense are thinking about their strategy now. For example, Trumpf, the laser company, they refused to work in the defense industry in the last centuries, but now they are investing together with another player in the drone area, or not drone, but drone detection. Is it drone detection?
Yes, counter drone.
Yeah, in counter drone systems.
Yeah, interesting. And there is a lot of interest from outside, from defence companies to come into Germany. So there's opportunities for partnerships.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good opportunity for the supply chain.
It is. And I mean, in the defense sector, it's more important than in consumer or automotive that you have this know-how in your region, in your country.
Yeah. And the budgets for spending need to be spent in Germany, but with external expertise supporting.
I would broaden it up to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do all of these things we've been discussing mean for leadership, both strategically and in terms of execution?
From my point of view, the title of this video series shows exactly what the thing is: leading through uncertainty. So you have to cope with uncertainty and give strategic guidance without knowing everything before.
Well, thank you, Emanuel, and it's a pleasure to have you here in London this morning to talk to us.
Thank you, Claire.